Hey, what's going on, everyone? Pro-Verbs again, here again with another video, an exclusive video. Hey, and today I want to talk about a very, very important topic. And this type of teaching that I'm going to talk to you about is not my own teaching, but is a teaching from someone who's a social media influencer. And this teaching is very damaging, and it's very damaging to women in particular, especially if you're a woman who wants to build a home, wants to have a family, be married, everything, have children, and be able to even lead a legacy with a man that you want to settle down with. This social media influencer is not going to help you. No, he's not. He's not trying to build homes. He's, in fact, doing the opposite, because what this guy actually is, he's a swindler. And let's just say women is his market, because he knows what to say to tug on the strings of a woman's heart. He knows what to say to a woman that, basically she can open up her purse to, because she's going to be able to fund his lifestyle. She's going to do him a service while he's basically giving them a disservice. But he's basically telling women what they like to hear. It sounds good to them, and therefore they're going to open up their purses, they're going to open up their emotions, and basically he's going to feel empowered. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? It's basically a devil in disguise. So anyway, with that being said, um, I was sent this message. I'm not gonna mention who sent me the message, and it's a damn shame that the person even liked it too. That's why I say it's very damaging, because if a lot of women listen to this particular type of individual, it's not gonna benefit their relationships. Not at all. Not even the slightest bit. Now, he will, and this is what makes it even more damaging. He will mix some truths with the lie. And that's what the devil does as well. The devil, he's not just going to tell you a straight up lie, because certain things, as a human being, is common sense. And you can say, nah, that's not true. That's definitely not true. But once you sprinkle a little bit of truth in it, and you tailor it in a way where it sounds like it makes sense, people can fall victim. They can be gullible to such things that's put out there. And it just seems like it makes sense. But when you fully dissect certain things that are being said or portrayed by certain individuals, once you really dissect it and really think about it, then you start uncovering certain things that, like, wait a minute. No, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's right. But you have to have a discerning spirit to really peel the layers of what a person is really trying to put out there, what type of message that they really trying to present for people to really follow. So with that being said, I'm gonna read this message. It's off of Instagram, and I'm gonna put it up right there so you can also read along as well. So it says right here, this is from a brother named Yada Awakening, and I'm telling you, this guy needs to be stopped. But hey, I can't tell people like, yo, shut down your whole thing. I can't do that. But it's up to really intelligent individuals out there, and people who really desire truth can see the BS behind what certain social media influencers are trying to really put out there. You got to really see behind the BS and really try to understand what are their motives. Because, hey, if you're out there creating social media content, everybody has a motive. And of course, one of the motives is to get money. A lot of us, we want to get paid for what we do. You know, we want to get paid for what we do, the work that we put in. And whether the work is honest or dishonest, we want to get compensated, or even not compensated, at least recognized for what we put out there. And we can't dispute that. So that's what it is. So anyway, I'm going to read what this brother said. It says right here, I want my woman to want me for my money because I want her for her softness, her patience, her love, her ability to nurture, to heal, to bring peace into my world. I'm going to stop right there for now because I want to make sense of this right now. So, as a brother, if you're saying you want your woman to want you for your resources, the money, what you can be able to provide for her, and under the same breath, you want her for her softness, her patience, and her love, her ability to nurture, heal, and bring peace into your world. So say, for instance, like the brother fell on hard times, because we all go through certain situations. Sometimes we have bumps in the road and the money may not be there no more. So basically, what he's saying is, if you want his woman to want him for this reason, so if he doesn't have it now to provide like before, or he just completely lost his job and now have to look for something, so now he shouldn't be so that same man, he shouldn't be looking for her softness, her patience, her love, her ability to nurture, to heal, to bring peace into his life. Because basically, she just really want him for his utility, not anything else. Not his guidance, not his strength, not wisdom, not be able to teach her anything. Just solely want him for his resources. That's not a good thing. And that type of message to put out to a woman is very damaging. So now that's gonna encourage a woman just to seek a man just for what he can be able to provide for her, financially speaking. Nothing more than that. So anyway, let me continue. So it says right here, that's the exchange. But most men want something for nothing. They want a woman to look good, stay loyal, cook, clean, birth their children, hold them down, and still split rent. That's what he says. So if a woman is dealing with certain individuals, certain men, and they see the character of this man, whether you're broke, you have money, it doesn't speak on a person's character. That's one. When a woman is searching for a husband or wanting a husband, you cannot look past a man's character, because that's the thing that speaks volumes. Because you can be a rich man and have a very horrible character. You could treat women the worst. You can treat them like they're beneath you, like they're nothing. But this man is saying he rather a woman want him for his money. So here's the thing though. If a man was to think like that, I want a woman to want me for my money. And then God forbid anything happen where you lost that job or your business is not doing so good. You cannot expect then, if in his word you cannot expect anything good from your woman then, because now you reneged your end of the bargain. You see how silly that sound? You see how silly that sound? When in actuality we all want to be loved. We all want to be accepted for who we are. Especially a woman want a man to accept them as they are, whether with child or without child. I've heard women say that you have to accept me as I am. I am the whole package. This is who I am. It's either you accept it or you don't accept it. That's how a woman would talk. So a man talking like this now, he's only encouraging that type of behavior. He encouraging that type of character in a woman where she's gonna feel so entitled. All she have to bring is her softness, her body, cooking and cleaning, because he just provided the money and nothing else. So that's the only way. That's the only way. And that's crazy, because hear this now. I think every household, when you're in a relationship, when a man and woman are living together, it should be an agreement between the two on how anything with bills is going to be split. Because we're living in an economy where we may need two incomes. There's a lot of homes like that, especially if you're going to have a family. You may need two incomes. And the man may not have the best job in the world, but he may be a very hardworking man. And he understands responsibilities. But at the same time, he may need some help from the woman as well. She may have to work as well. Now, I'm more of a traditional man where I would prefer. But now, because in this modern times, things are very different. I prefer to be the breadwinner where I'm basically holding everything down. And why I choose it that way, because women, they can be very emotional, and sometimes they can be very, very fickle. 1 minute when they're in the emotions about anything, whatever disagreement that may come about, if I put myself in a position where it's 50-50 or whatever the case is, right? Say I put myself in that position. A woman may say, you know what? I don't need you here. Because she's so upset. She may say, oh, go sleep on the couch, or she want to kick me out, or whatever the case may be. Especially if a woman is in a position of power. When I say power, they may be making more financially, because in these times right now, women are working, and some women may be making more than a man. But if I was to put myself in a position where it's either 50-50 or she may be doing more than me or whatever, God forbid if we in a situation and she's upset about something, she may want me out. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm paying bills too. Or if I put myself in a position where it's her place and I'm there, she gonna definitely want me out. And the system that we're living in, they tend to favor women more, because women are the one that bears children. You know, they're quote unquote the weaker vessel. So we as men, we have to understand that their psychology is different. They're different biologically and psychologically, but they're very emotional. So their feelings can go to and fro. It's like the wind, it comes and goes. So we got to understand that there's a difference between men and women. As a man, you're supposed to be more analytical. You're supposed to be more, of the person of being of a sound mind. You understand what I'm saying? So a man is supposed to be more structured. In a sense, he's not gonna allow his emotions to trump logics. As a man, you gotta be more logical. So we understand women are very emotional. Their feelings can change any time. They may love you today, they hate you tomorrow. They may love you again. But we gotta understand that that's just how a woman is built. That's why a woman, this may sound controversial, but that's why we cannot put them in a position of a leadership, especially in a household. In a household, because if you lead them to make the decisions, trust and believe, like, give them the power, they're gonna really abuse it. They will abuse it. They'll use it to their advantage. And who doesn't want to be in an advantageous position? Even as a man want to be in a position where it's going to be advantageous to him. You know what I mean? Everybody want to be in a position where it's going to be in their favor. But more so women, when you give them that type of position, they just gonna take it full throttle and do what they gotta do with it. But anyway, let me continue because I'm digressing right now. So it says right here, I'm gonna go back where it says, that's the exchange, but most men want something for nothing. They want a woman to look good, stay loyal, cook, clean, birth their children, hold them down, and still split rent. Still carry her own weight, still be strong, even when she's breaking inside. They want a wife with the independence of a single mother, a queen with the pressure of a soldier, also they can feel equal because they know they can't carry the crown. But let's be real. A man who can't provide is just a boy in a man's costume. You want her to act like a woman? Then act like a man. Protect her. Provide for her. Make her life lighter, not heavier. If she doesn't want you for your ability to lead and provide, it's because she knows you can't. I want my woman to expect provision because that's my lane. That's my role. That's my honor. And if that offends you, you're not ready to sit at a real table. Go build yourself up before you ask a woman to sit beside you. If your fathers didn't teach you, I am NDBA, no dusty bumps. Anyway, with that being said, now, that type of information is very damaging. He's the type of man that shouldn't even be teaching a woman. And the Bible also speaks on individuals as such that will basically tear apart a home. I have some scriptures I'm actually going to read, and then I'm going to get into my synopsis. First, I want to talk about the deception in the Garden of Eden. Let me start off with that. Genesis 3, chapter 3, 1 to 6. And I'm going to put it up there as well so you can see. All the way in the front. What am I doing there? All right, Genesis 3. All right. All right, verses 1 to 6. It says right here, and I'm reading out of the King James Version. It says, "Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, have God say, Yea, shall not eat of every tree of the garden?" Let me stop right there. Hold on 1 second. Adam was the first person that God told about that tree in the middle of the garden. And then God took a rib from Adam, made Eve, and then Adam told Eve about the tree that God have told him about. All right? God probably could have told Eve as well, but the Bible wasn't very descriptive of who told her. But I'm pretty sure the husband told her. God confirmed it. Second verse. "And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die." See, so she has the knowledge of the truth already. She already knows what was already said unto her. But here's what happened now. "And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For God do know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil." So you see, the serpent, he lied, but he also mixed some truth in it. He lied, but he mixed some truth. He said he told her that you should not die. When he said you shall not die, it's a lie, but a truth. The truth is, she didn't die physically right there and then. She didn't die physically right there and then. But spiritually, yes. There was a spiritual death going to occur once she disobeyed it. Once she disobeyed what God had said. And he said, your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. So that's where he sprinkled a little bit of truth now. Because once they partake of that tree in the midst of the garden that God said do not, yes, their eyes will be open, knowing good and evil, because at that time they didn't know anything about evil. They didn't. But you see, it says right here in verse 6, "And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat." She saw that it looks good. She see that it looks good. And for the fact that she see that, oh, it can make me wise too. Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, the story, curiosity kills the cat. Sometimes we get a little too curious of the unknown. We may hear, don't go there. We may hear, don't do this. But then we want to still have the experience because we just don't know. And it may be tempting. Something may look good. Something may seem like it feels good, smells good, whatever it is. But it's just because of that yearning in our own soul, like, oh, I just gotta. I gotta see what it's like. That's where sin can come in, because we're tempted. We're tempted because we're not sure. We may not be sure, but because it may be pleasing unto our eyes. Remember, our eyes are the window to our soul. So because our soul desires that thing, our soul desires it, so we gotta have it. We gotta go there. We gotta try this. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then it says, and she gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Now that's how women could also mess up a man's whether his life, legacy, or the stance that he's on. Sometimes as a man you can fall victim to the woman because you may have love for her. You may have love for her, and you may have a certain purpose that God has for you. That's why God put you in a position to be the lead. A leader doesn't follow an individual who are led by emotions or led by a lust. No. And I'm not saying a leader doesn't follow. Sometimes you got to be a good follower to be a good leader, but you got to know who you're following. You don't follow willy-nilly just off of anybody. So in that position, you see Adam, he never questioned. One, we don't know in full terms. We don't know in full terms. But if we're going to do a hypothetical, say that he was there. Say he was there next to his wife, and she gave him to eat, and he didn't say, hey, listen, don't. You know what God said. Do not eat that, and do not even offer me that. So let's go by the hypothetical that he was there. He did that. Why? He loved this woman, and he didn't want to see her angry. He didn't want confrontation with his woman. And also at the same time, he also may have been tempted, but he's not going to go straight off of that if it wasn't for his wife to first do it. Do you get what I'm saying? Sometimes a man can say, oh, I want to try that, but I'm going to leave that alone. And if any man hear this message, can understand what I'm saying. I may say like, I'm going to leave that alone. But then a woman who you may have love for, or even if it's not love, it may be lust, or you're just like really fully enthralled with this woman, and she say, hey, let's do this. And because you have that type of bond or attraction to her, you may go along with it just to please her, to satisfy her. And there's many men in that position do that. Or, sometimes a woman may be nagging, keep going. A man may say no until he get tired of it, and it's like, okay, all right, fine, let's do this, because he's tired of it. Just like with the story of Samson. Delilah keep coming and coming. Like that's one thing I give it to women. They can be very persistent. They could be very persistent in what they want until a man give in. That's the same thing with children. They could be very persistent until a man's like, all right, fine. I mean, can anybody vouch for that? You understand what I'm saying? So I had to first start off with that scripture because it shows you the genesis, the beginning of how deception came into the world, and it started through the woman. Next scripture I wanted to go to touch on is 1 Timothy 4:1. I'm gonna put every scripture up on the screen that I'm gonna read. You may also see it in different versions as well, so you may understand it a little bit better. But I'm reading it from the King James version because I have that in front of me. Anything that I have up there, I screenshot it off of Google and I put it up there so you can also read as well. 1 Timothy 4:1. 1 Timothy, bear with me. 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 1, it says, "Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils." Let me read that again. "Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils." Like this guy here, Yada Awakening, he has his own doctrine. He's not going to say it's a doctrine, or you don't even have to be in a part of a ministry or a church to speak doctrines. Just being an influencer on social media, whatever you're teaching people out there, that is a doctrine. And these are doctrines of devils. It does, that kind of doctrine itself, it does not build homes. It only creates more confusion. It creates contention. And for the man, it definitely puts a lot of pressure, added pressure. So a man is going to look at it like, if a woman is listening to this guy, right, and then she comes to her man, because trust and believe, women really do not hold their tongue for long. They're going to speak on certain things like how they feel. They're going to speak on things that they have heard from other people or seen in other people's life, whatever it is, whether it be a friendship, things they see on social media, things that they hear, and it sounds good to them. If they feel like in their relationship, they're not having the same things just like other people, because one thing is they're gonna compare. If they feel like their relationship is not up to par, they're gonna compare. She's gonna compare her relationship with that dude that she's with to other people's relationship, and that's what women do. So so now the man is gonna feel pressure, because now the woman is gonna come to him and say, "Hey, so and so, she gets this. She goes here with her husband. It's gonna be a never-ending thing." Now the woman already got in a relationship with the man for one reason or another. But now she finds herself unsatisfied because she may see somebody supposedly getting more. And now she want to measure up her relationship with other people's relationship. Now the man is going to feel pressure. And now when she brings it to his attention about so-and-so is getting this, so-and-so is going here, doing this, and all of this now. And when she bring it to the man, they're like, "Wait a minute." Like, yo, I can't do that right now. I'm focused on being paying these bills and us building together as a family. You know? Now he's feeling that pressure. And she's gonna add more pressure to him, where it may force that man to, probably do some more overtime, get a second job, and doing all of this for what? just to please his woman, satisfy his woman in whatever material she wants or vacation she wants, you know. But we got to look at it like, what is a family for? Is it just about what we can achieve and things we can cross off a bucket list? We have to put our priorities in order and really assess and evaluate the relationship when we get into one and say, what is our mission? What are we trying to accomplish? What are we trying to really do? And not try to compare the relationship with other people's relationship, because that's just a recipe for disaster. That's a recipe for disaster. And I would always encourage anybody at all, um, always try to improve your situation regardless. I'm not saying, just accept being average, but sometimes honestly, some of us are just average people, and we should just really accept that, really. But I would never say to accept being average. Still, I would never say that. But with certain people's mentality, how they think, sometimes we just have to just be average people and just accept that and just live life accordingly. But never measure up your situation, compare yourself with anybody else. You're different. So, whoever you are, stay true to who you are. Not everybody is meant to be a boss. Not everybody is meant to be a millionaire. Some of us, we just have to accept our position in life, because we all have positions. We all have positions. Not everybody's meant to be a teacher. Not everybody's meant to be a president. Not everybody's meant to be a rapper. Not everybody's meant to be a business owner. Sometimes we have to just accept who we are, what our gifts are, our talents are, and what we're able to provide in life or in a family, in a relationship. But just stay true to who you are. Never let anybody make you feel pressured into being someone else who you're not. We all can't be a Jeff Bezos. We all can't be Elon Musk. We all can't be billionaires. But we have to find some kind of peace and solace in who we are right now. If you want to be able to have more in life, build yourself up, think differently. But in your current state, just be true to yourself. That's all I'm going to say. Be true to yourself. So, with that, sometimes a woman can throw a man off his game, and now it causes the relationship to be more stressful. And now there's no peace, because now she's measuring up her man to somebody else's man. And that's not a nice thing. That's not a nice thing, because a woman would never want her man to measure her up to some other woman. So, ladies, we got to be fair. We got to be fair. Stop comparing your man to somebody else's man on what they're doing for them. Focus on your relationship and what your man is already providing. What is he doing? What kind of character does he have? And even if y'all are splitting bills because both of y'all are in a position where you can't really financially hold everything together on your own. You may need someone else. But remember, in the Bible also says, God provide Eve as a helpmate for Adam. So right now, in these days, a woman ought to be a helpmate for a man. So even if it means that she may have to work, sometimes that is the case. Because it's not every man out there who are rich, who are balling, who have it like that, and they may need some help. I'm not saying the man have to treat you like crap, or the man is just gonna be lazy and not do nothing. I'm not saying that. But he may need that help. And yes, as a woman, there are certain responsibilities that a woman has to a household. But if y'all in a position where, let me put it this way, if y'all in a position where it may have to be 50-50, some party may do a little bit more than the other. But if it's in a position where y'all have to share things together and the man is not really the breadwinner, where he's doing majority of the thing, say that's not the case. I would understand that you as a woman who's working, you're not gonna always feel like cleaning up all the time or cooking all the time, doing laundry all the time. Now, in that case, in that scenario, it's only right that the man do help out with some of the things that he does. But remember now, there's certain things really tailored for a woman, just like there are certain things tailored for a man. A man should never expect you as a woman to change his tires. I mean, unless if you as a woman want to do that yourself, because nowadays there's women doing their own thing now. You know what I mean? Coming to men stuff. It's like, hey, we're living in a different time and age. But anyway, what I'm saying is, yes, it's good if he can help out with little things as well, but never diminish a man's role of being a lead. He may be down for a little bit, but still respect him as the leader of the household. Don't compare him. Don't judge him because he may be a little down financially. Because if he's making strides to basically to take care of you, the household, the children, you gotta give him his props for that. Because listen, one, a real man would never run from responsibilities if he has a responsibility. If you are his wife, yes, he's gonna be responsible for you, especially if y'all living together. If y'all living together, you're his responsibility. But your responsibility as well as a woman is to be his helpmate. So both of y'all have y'all responsibilities. A man has his responsibility, a woman has her responsibility, and that's just the way it goes. And that will lead a household that is running smoothly because each party understands their responsibility to one another. With that being said now, but if you know the man is doing most of things financially and stuff like that, yo, listen, cook the man a meal 4 or 5 times a week or so, clean up, do something to when he comes back home that things are looking good and his belly's filled. I understand we are human, sometimes we get tired and whatnot. And but all I'm gonna say is just do your best. I mean, we all have problems in relationships. There's no relationship that is perfect. But one thing is that y'all have to be able to communicate on a healthy level and do what it takes to make sure that the relationship is thriving. Y'all come into the relationship, it has to be a reason. You have to have a reason. And what is your purpose of even coming together? Sometimes we have to discuss that. What is the purpose of us coming together? Is it to have children, to lead a legacy and build something for our next generation to follow, and just to live a life that is pleasing unto God as well, to be a good image for everybody else to like really to follow, because we're doing something that is very constructive to the community and society as a whole by living this way and keeping things together, you know. So anyway, the next scripture I wanted to read is, it's in Ephesians 5:6. So as I said, I'm gonna put everything up there. So I'm gonna go to Ephesians 5:6. And it says right here in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 6, it says, "Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience." I'm going to read that one more time. "Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience." And when I say this, that man Yada Awakening, he is deceiving women with vain words, because he is speaking to what the woman wants to hear. He is speaking directly to their soul, because their soul desire a man to be in abundance, to have things so he can spoil her, he can take her here, he can take her there, because her lust for things, her lust for going on vacations, that's what she wants. That's the thing that she wants. She wants a man to take care of her. And I'm not saying anything wrong with a man taking care of a woman if that's his woman. But the thing is, her lust is very insatiable. So once you tell a woman certain things, especially if a woman is hearing it, from a man, she's going to be like, whoa, that's how men think. I want a man like that. I'm telling you, that's how a woman gonna think. Like, if a man is speaking like that, there must be other men out there speaking the same way. He is speaking my language. That's just like, okay, here's the thing. If a person know an individual, say individual A is speaking in a way, I'm gonna put it for a man's perspective. If a woman was to speak like, yeah, I'm gonna do this for my man, I'm gonna buy him this, buy him the PS5, I'm gonna put it on him real good, buy him clothes, I gotta spoil my man, I gotta do this for my man because my man deserves it. If a man was to hear a woman speaking like that, a man gonna be like, I need me a woman like that. So now you gonna have people who just gonna feel entitled, because why? They hearing things that sounds good. Just like Eve, she saw the fruit on the tree in the midst of the garden. It looks good. She wanted to try it. She wanted to try it so bad. Until the serpent said something. She was like, all right, bet. Sometimes, as individuals, we may see something or hear something, and it sounds good to us. We may not budge. We may not budge because we still have our little doubts. We're not sure. We may have a little doubt, but it sounds good. It looks good. But until somebody confirms it, then you're like, it's a go. That's when we're going to be like, bet. But it's something that you really wanted to do, but you wasn't sure. We just need that confirmation. So if a man was to hear a woman talk like that, a man may say within his heart, like, man, I wish there was a woman who would just love me like that, give it to me anytime, would buy me stuff too. I buy women things, you know. I would like a woman to buy me something. I would like a woman to cater to me, do this, do that for me. if a woman was to talk like that, a man would be like, okay, if she talk like that, there gotta be other women that talk like that. And that man may want to desire that. So I use that as an example because you have women out there who are very entitled. They may feel that way. So once a man was to speak like that, like Yada Awakening, that just opened her up more and say, okay, so there are men like that. That's confirmation. So they're gonna look at that as confirmation. Like, bet I know my worth. I know my value. I deserve a man like that. I need me a man like Yada Awakening. Even though he's like 5'4", I don't care. I deserve enough. Yo, oh my God, I'm just playing. But anyway, yeah. So they gonna think like that. They're gonna think like that, especially if simp guys like this are talking like that. And the reason he's talking like that because let's keep it 100. Women are his prime audience. So if you're gonna cater to your prime audience, of course you're gonna tell them what they want to hear. And once you cater to what they want to hear, you cater to the emotions, guess what? That's when the money start coming in. Of course, women gonna come to him for counseling. Of course, he's gonna charge them for counseling. Because he's gonna tell them what they need to do to get a so-called man as such. A woman may already be in a relationship saying, oh, how can I get my man to really succumb to what I desire? How can I get my man to move in the direction I want him to go? How can I get him to do the things that I want? Because it's about me. He got to cater to me. That's what you're saying. You say you cater to your woman. You're like this. How can I get my man to be more like you? And that's what it boils down to. And then he's going to give her some advice. Hey, do this. Do that. And then when the man starts seeing the woman start doing some things, it's going to create a rift in the relationship. He's going to notice, wait, there's something different. But that's not helping the relationship at all. That's not helping the relationship. Now, when a man and woman have any conflicts in a relationship, disagreements in a relationship, it's not wise that both parties are separate. So you have the person who's supposed to be the mediator, talking to one person alone, and then talking to the other person alone. Both parties have to be in the room. A mediator doesn't choose sides. The mediator is the one in the middle, listening to both sides, and then coming to the conclusion of where the problem is at. Because we're not in a relationship just to cater to our own desires. No. When a man is in a relationship with a woman, he thinks about the family, the tribe as a whole. What's best for the family as a whole. You hear? The family as a whole. So when it's just a man and woman, he's thinking about what's best for them both, not just what's best for her. You understand what I'm saying? So, and when they have children, it's what's best for her, the children, and himself. So being in a leadership position is not an easy position. Sometimes you have to make hard decisions. You understand what I'm saying? The decisions, it may not be easy, but at the same time, to make a decision, it takes a lot of effort. Hold on one second. To make a decision, sometimes it takes time. You may say the man may be in a position where he have to choose where his family is going to live, and there may be two directions he may have to go, either east or west, point A or point B. Now he got to weigh out his options. And sometimes weighing out your options, it may takes a little time. Sometimes you may have to make a quick decision, but the decision that you make is very critical. And that's where the man have to analyze which is the best decision to make. Whatever the choice is, he got to analyze which is the decision to make. Now, when a woman goes to yada awakening, saying, okay, what can I do? Boom, boom, boom. She's not thinking about what's best for both of them. She's thinking about what's best for her. So that's why a woman is more prone on their emotions, about they thinking more so about themselves and how can I be in a more advantageous position. A man more so, if he's in that position of leadership, guiding his woman, he's thinking about what's best for them. Because a man is not going to put himself in a position where it's not going to be for his betterment neither. He's not going to just put woman in a great position and then nothing is going to benefit him as well. That's not what leaders do. Leaders want to make sure it's good as a whole, that everybody is going to benefit. But sometimes a woman may feel like, well, this doesn't benefit me that much. She may want more benefits. But that's life. That's life in general. We can't have it all. We cannot say, you want this, but then you want this. Because in life, any decisions that you make, there will be a trade-off. There will be a trade-off. So you just got to weigh the pros and the cons and say, okay, which decision would I be more willing to make? You know what I mean? So that's just life in general. You can't have it all. Where you go in life, there will be a trade-off. There will be. Sometimes a man will put himself in a position where he may have this working for a big time corporation, and they may offer him 6 figures, say $300,000 a year or so, right? But he may have to work a lot harder. So the trade-off will be spending less time at home. That may be the trade-off. A man may work this other company. He maybe making like $40,000 a year, right? He may have more time with his family, but the trade-off is he's not making as much money. So in life, there will be trade-offs. So whatever a man do, career-wise, or personal life or whatever, that there's gonna be a trade-off. So a woman have to accept the fact that if his job requires such and such, he gotta travel here and there, or he gotta work this amount of time with his job, and it's not spending much time with his family. She gotta know that. And once you get in that relationship already established and know these things, you cannot complain. If you're with a man, he's making 40,000 or 50,000, and that's the limit of his position, but he's spending more time, he get to spend more time with you. Don't complain about the money he's making. You already got in the relationship, you already established that. So that's the point that I'm trying to make right there. Let me get to the next scripture that I was gonna get to. I'm getting through these scriptures right now. I'm almost done. The second scripture I want to get to, 2 Thessalonians. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Let me get to that. I'll soon tell you the verses. 2 Thessalonians. Hold on 1 second. 2 Thessalonians. 2 Thessalonians. Almost there. Second Thessalonians. Bear with me. Hold on. I know it's a very short. Come on. All right, here it is. This is pretty short. All right, I'm in the first one. All right, 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 10 to 11. Chapter 2, verse 10 to 11, and it says, "And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie." You heard that? God send them a strong delusion that they may believe a lie. Because the thing is, why are some people deceived? Some people are deceived because of the lust that they already have within inside them. And we have to learn to contain those things. You know, as a man, you may see beautiful women out there. You may say, "Man, whew, I'll hit that. That one too. That one too. Oh yeah. Oh, that's definitely that one too." You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean you're gonna have sex with every single one of them. You know, that may be a lust that a man have. You may see a very attractive woman, and you may, wanna slap some skins. You may see that. But at the end of the day, you have to try to control it. You have to control it, because then if you don't control that as a man, that will definitely be your downfall. That will be a downfall, because one, you don't know the type of woman you're entertaining. You just seen her physical beauty. You just see what you like, just like Eve. You see what you like, but it may not be good for you. You see what you like, and you entertain that. That could be your downfall. That could be your downfall. That's why we have to contain the lust that we have within. Just like a woman. She may say, oh, she wants a man with money. She may never get a rich man. But what's she gonna do? She gonna try to exhaust the man from his resources. She gonna try to get as much out of him as possible, because the man may really be into her. And the man that may be into her, she may not really be into him like that. Because, women go by, oh, I'm just not feeling the vibes, or he's not for me. But at the end of the day, she still used that man for his resource. Because what was her lust? things. She want to get things. Whether it's a free meal, clothes, jewelry, trips, shoes, bags, that's her lust. She wants more of it. Just like a man may want more woman to deal with, women want more things, more items, more monetary things, money. So we all have our different lusts. We just have to learn to contain it, because if we don't contain it, it can overtake you. It will ruin you in the end. Excuse me. Our lust will ruin us. It will ruin us. And that's why we will be deceived. That's why individuals will be deceived, because of the certain lust. So, me as a man, say for instance, I'm attracted to this beautiful, gorgeous woman. In my eyes, she's a 10. She's a 10. So that's my lust. I'm just going off of her beauty. She looks good. Everything just looks good to me. The bum, the body, the face, everything just looks good. But on the inside, she could be messed up. She could be the devil in disguise. But guess what? She give me a chance to be in a relationship with her. I'm like, yo, it's all good. It's all gravy, baby. It's all good, right? So now guess what? That same woman, she can lead me to ruin. Why? Because she see that I am wrapped around her fingers. Anything she wants from me, guess what? I'm gonna do it. Because I'm just so enthralled with her beauty. That's all I'm focused on. Like, damn, I'm lucky. I am so lucky I got a bomb woman on my side. Oh my God. Baby, can you do it? Sure, baby. Baby, can I get this? Sure, baby. And even if I don't got it, I'm gonna find a way to get it. Sometimes I may steal. Sometimes I may do some overtime. But guess what? Once you like this around someone who can really take advantage, that's the same person who's going to break you, because they will take advantage. They will take you for granted, because you know what? They have the upper hand, because you're just like putty in their hand now. They can shape and mold you. Just like how a woman's lust is a man that may have money, she may be with a rich man. And she like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for him. I'm going to start tap dancing. Whatever you want, baby. Because he like, okay, boom, I give it to you. Give it to you. Take that, take that. Anyway, so guess what? That same man, he can take advantage of her. Yeah, because he say, oh, she'll do anything for me. Well, all I gotta just buy her some Birkin, Chanel, take on trips. All right, guess what? That man has the upper hand now, because he sees that she's like putty in his hand and he can have his way. That's when her sin will be her downfall, because he will take advantage. So I say that to say, you just don't look at an exterior of an individual or what an individual have. You gotta focus and pay attention on a person's character. It's their character. I'm telling you, our lust will be our downfall. That's why you gotta contain your own lust. You gotta contain it. You gotta control it. Keep it under control. Follow God's will. Follow his laws. See what is true. See what is good. Because you don't want people to treat you bad, right? So you gotta also treat people well. Treat people the same way you want to be treated. That's how it goes. You gotta treat people the same way you want to be treated. Don't expect to treat people like crap or take advantage of them and then expect them to treat you any different. Don't expect them to treat you any different. Because, hey, if you're following your lusts, you say, I'm going to go after this person because of this. Do you think that they're going to treat you any different? No, matter of fact, not even any different. They're going to take advantage of that because of your lust. You work on your character, and as long as you know your character is intact and that you mean well, and it's not just about what you see or what you hear, but what is. You go in a relationship with good intentions. Go in a relationship with what you're going to offer, what you can offer, and build upon that. And you just expect the same person that's going to have the same energy just like what you put in. That's it. All right, I'm going to go on my last scripture is going to be 2 Timothy. This is the most important one because for this topic I'm talking about, this is the most important one. 2 Timothy 3:6, and the version I'm going to put up there, you're going to see many different versions of this one here, but I'm still reading from the King James Version. So, what I said again, 2 Timothy 3:6, because I'm about to come to a close soon. Didn't want to make this too long. Let's see. 2 Timothy. All right, that's first. 2 Timothy, I said what? 3:6. Okay. 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 6, it says right here, for of this sort are they which creep into houses and led captive silly women laden with sins, led away with divers lusts. Basically, it's talking about whether it's a pastor or social media influencer that crept in, not saying that they literally came into the house, but got into the ear of a woman who already is laden with many sins. Those sins are wanting more things, wanting this, wanting that. As I said about the woman who's comparing her man to other people. So these type of people who come into their ear, telling them, you deserve this, you deserve that, you're a queen, you're royalty, any man should take care of you. So when they come in with their heretics, their hearsays, this is what tears apart the home. This is what literally tears apart a home. When it's not just the woman's man that's in her ear, it's when other people are in her ear as well. But why she allows other people in her ear? It's because there was something she may have already been unsatisfied with. She may have something unsatisfied with. And it could never be enough. But the thing is, a woman who really loves and respects her man as a lead, as a head, it's a conversation she should already have with him. Not listen to outside sources. Because if there's something that she may be unsatisfied with or about, should already have spoken to him about. And if he's a man of character, a man that really knows how to lead his home, he would already have explained it to her and let her know this is the decision, this is the choice that we're going to go with for the betterment of their family. And that's it. I mean, you have some women who will dispute his leadership. She doesn't honor his leadership. But ladies, don't get in a relationship with a man that you feel like you cannot respect his leadership. Some women just get in a relationship with a man. Either there's many different reasons, whether it's because they just need somebody right there and then and they feeling lonely, or the man have money and she likes that he got money like that, or she may be attracted to him and it's just by his looks. But when you get to know someone, know them for who they are. Sometimes you have to have difficult conversations about y'all coming together, living together, marrying, having children, and what y'all gonna do moving forward. So what I'm saying is, once you're in a relationship with a man, ladies, do not go outside of that information seeking other people's advice. The first person you go to is your man. That's who is supposed to be your covering. That's who you're supposed to get your answers from. And if he doesn't have them answers right there and then, he may let you know, I will think about it, or I will look into it, something. But have that conversation with him before going outside anytime, because that's going to create a lot of confusion. That's going to create more animosity. It's gonna create a whole lot of things where it's not going to work in your favor or his favor. Because listen, at the end of the day, breakups, divorces, it's never a nice thing, and sometimes it can get really, really bad. It could get really bad. So you don't want your relationship to get to that point. Sometimes we have to separate for a bit, for a little time, but always have that communication with the person you're involved with. Never go to outside for advice. Keep it between y'all. Keep it between y'all. And he may not say nothing right there and then, but sometimes, honestly, ladies, sometimes a man gotta bear on a lot. Sometimes he dealing with certain things he may not even tell you. Here's the thing. Certain things you're not meant to know. Certain things a man have to bear, and it's a lot to bear. And for him to tell you some things, it may overwhelm you as well. So if he got to bear whatever he's bearing alone, let him bear it. But here's the thing. Never go outside of a relationship to discuss your business, because it will just bring more drama into the home. And now he got a lot more to bear. He got a lot more to bear. So that's my message for today. I don't want to sound long-winded, but I just had to come out with this video because of this message that was sent to me. And ladies, listen to me. Stop listening to people like that, like Yada Awakening. That information will tear apart homes, literally. Literally, when I got this message and I read it, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is insane. Because that's not helping anybody. That's not helping anybody. For one, let a woman who who have been through the storm in a relationship, who have been in a relationship 15 years plus and still going, that woman could give you advice. If a man, if he's not holding everything together or whatever in the home, y'all just get counseling or whatever the case may be. But he should get advice, especially if he want to become a better man. He should get advice from a man who is sound, who has been through it all with a wife as well, and holding it down at his home. So if y'all want to make it work, y'all got to make it work, because relationship itself is work. It's work. So y'all have to look at the bigger picture. Stop looking at now. Think about things on a whole bigger picture, and who is it going to affect? Because it's not just going to be y'all two it's going to affect your family as well. So y'all work things out. Y'all have communication. Hey, pray together. Do what it takes. So that's my message for today. This is Pro-Verbs, and I'm tuning out. Peace, y'all.